Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome back to the health program named Your Health. Alhamdulillah. Before the break, we were going through various information about insomnia, and we mentioned that a lot of people suffer from insomnia. 50% according to some specialists. Some say 30%. Some say 5%. Insomnia affects people in different ways. Let's look at some of the ways it affects a person. If you look at slide number 9, and this will tell us the different way a person is affected by insomnia. So first of all, psychological. Lower performance. You don't work as well. After a bad sleep in the office, you perform less, you can't focus, you have slowed reaction time, you don't feel so good. Remember I mentioned last time that the current research shows that depression isn't because of a lack of serotonin, it's because of your reaction to external adverse events. So you end up, if you don't have a good sleep, you don't feel well, and then you have a risk of anxiety disorder. You become anxious, you're worried, you have thoughts which kind of upset you, make your body release cortisol. So this is all insomnia. It can make you overweight. Remember I mentioned about the ghrelin levels going very high. It makes you want to eat more and more. So that's all because of insomnia, overweight, obesity, high blood pressure as well. It can be caused by issues with your sleep. Risk of heart disease, ya Allah. Who would have guessed that lack of sleep can cause all these? Remember I mentioned to you about metabolic syndrome. So there we are. Heart issues, diabetes issue, and cholesterol. So we've got risk of diabetes, risk of heart disease, risk of high blood pressure. All these things to do with insomnia. And what do we do nowadays? We take sleep as the least important thing. We just sit down doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi rajiun. Not to mention we miss our Fajr Salah, but look at the health damage and collateral damage that can occur. And poor immune system. Next day you can catch a cold. I'm going to inshallah definitely do a program on cancer, because there's so many things we can do to ward off this dangerous disease which can affect 1 in 2 people. And many of it, we have so many, people when they're diagnosed with cancer, generally, it's normally that they've had it for 15 years. And then the symptoms become apparent. May Allah keep us safe. So definitely, inshallah, I'm going to do a program on cancer and how to, take common sense approaches to avoid it. And, one of the biggest things is about eating and stress management. So I mentioned this is how insomnia can, these are the list of things I mentioned which can be caused by not having a good sleep. हम यही बता रहे थे कि अगर किसी की नींद ख़राब हो और 1 माह, 2 माह, 1 साल, 2 साल, 3 साल से उनको नींद अच्छी तरह नहीं आ रही है रात को, यानी अव्वल तो लेट से सोते हैं 1 बजे, 2 बजे, 3 बजे तक बेचारे उनको नींद नहीं आ रही और बेदार रहते हैं, या फिर वो सो जाते हैं 10-11 बजे, लेकिन 12-1 बजे उनकी आँख खुल जाती है और दोबारा नींद नहीं आती, या फिर 3 बजे आँख खुल जाती है और दोबारा उनको नींद नहीं आती, तो ये है इंसोम्निया। तो इससे बहुत ही बड़े बीमारियां पैदा हो सकती हैं। मेटाबॉलिक सिंड्रोम मैंने बताया था, इसको कहते हैं मेटाबॉलिक सिंड्रोम कहते हैं जब आदमी को हाई ब्लड प्रेशर का ख़तरा हो, या डायबिटीज़ का ख़तरा हो, या हार्ट डिजीज़ का ख़तरा हो, या हाई कोलेस्ट्रॉल हो। तो ये 3-4 चीज़ जो मैंने जिक्र की, इन सब का ताल्लुक़ है ये जो क्या कहते हैं इसको, इंसोम्निया के साथ। अच्छी तरह नींद नहीं करना। तो इसके लिए हम बताएंगे इंशाल्लाह 4 होम्योपैथिक दवाइयाँ हैं जिनसे आपको बहुत ही फ़ायदा होगा। होम्योपैथिक दवाइयाँ जो हैं इनसे आदमी को हैबिट यानी एडिक्टिव, जो आदमी को एक किस्म के आदत बन जाना, ये आदमी को नहीं होता, बल्कि बहुत आसानी के साथ, आफियत के साथ, साइड इफ़ेक्ट फ्री दवाइयाँ हैं, और 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 हफ्ते के बाद आदमी को इनकी ज़रूरत होती ही नहीं है अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। तो हाँ, और यहाँ आदिल, लेट्स गो टू स्लाइड नंबर 9 अगेन। अगर दोबारा इस स्लाइड को देखें तो हमने यहाँ चंद दवाइयाँ सामने रखियाँ हैं। ये जो है राइट हैंड साइड पर इंसोम्निया रेमेडीज़, तो एक है पासिफ्लोरा इनकार्नाटा, एक है इग्नेशिया, और एक है कॉफ़ी क्रूडा, और इसके बाद रेस्क्यू रेमेडी। हम इंशाल्लाह इसके मतलब अभी गुफ्तगू करेंगे। तो सबसे पहले हम जाते हैं स्लाइड नंबर 1। तो स्लाइड नंबर 1 को आप तवज्जो दें। Slide number 1, the number 1 remedy in homeopathic medicine for insomnia and chronic insomnia is something called coffee cruda. And you remember I mentioned to you that what can cause a symptom can be cured by the same medicine that can cause it. So coffee, when you want to stay awake at night time and keep your brain kind of fresh and you want to work hard, you make some coffee. So coffee can cause insomnia. But when you prepare this same coffee in a homeopathic way, it can cure the same symptoms of insomnia. So if you have excessive thinking at night time, your brain doesn't shut off. It's thinking. Your body thinks it's like 10 o'clock in the morning, whereas it's 1 a.m. just past midnight. Your mind is engaged in excessive thinking. Number 1. Number 2, your mind is restless. It's ruminating, thinking, I'm going to do this. There's no sight of sleep anywhere near. Or you've got racing and active thoughts. Or you awake from the slightest noise. You are a very light sleeper. Then this coffee cruda in the 200C potency can be very, very effective for insomnia. And at the end, I'll mention 3-4 remedies you can take concurrently. So if you have insomnia, then take all 3 remedies and they will help you, inshallah ta'ala. The best thing is to see a competent, professional, registered homeopathic physician. But if you can't, then this is a good secondary alternative. So if you're sensitive to external impressions, to sounds, to lights, you know, a neighbor's dog maybe is barking and keeping up the whole neighborhood, then maybe coffee will help you. So 1 tablet night and morning is what I normally recommend. Let's just look at some of the things about coffee. So the person needing coffee cruda is very nervous. Remember we say that when we give a remedy, we try to give a remedy which covers all the symptom picture of a person. So this is how a normal person who's suffering from insomnia will be if he is to benefit from this remedy. So he's very, or she is very, because remember 1.5 to 2% times ladies are more susceptible to insomnia. They're very nervous, he, she, very excitable, quick to act mentally and physically, they're very overstimulated. They have increased sensitivity to pain as well. Coffee is a very good pain remedy, especially neuralgias, nerve pain. So heightened hearing and smell and taste, and very, very acute. Eating and drinking and thinking is very, very quick. Yeah. And also, children who fit this profile and are very restless and hyperactive, this remedy can help them to slow down. ADHD, ADD, this is a good remedy for these children as well. So mentally and emotionally, they be sentimental, they're easily dominated, they have mental overactivity, quick, restless, excitable thoughts, they're very joyful, sometimes ecstatic, they're witty, despair from pain. So if this is your picture and it's 12 o'clock midnight and you can't go sleep, this is the remedy that will help you. And you just take 1 tablet of the 200C potency, inshallah, and see how it affects you. By the grace of Allah, it should put you to sleep in less than half an hour, which is what normal people fall asleep in, less than half an hour. So, it's also a good remedy for toothache, but such toothache which is better by holding cold, icy water in your mouth. If you have a toothache, and if you put water in your mouth, which is very, very cold, and that helps the toothache, then you will be, inshallah, benefited by this remedy, coffee. So if you have sleeplessness from racing and active thoughts, and you wake up from the slightest noise, then you may need coffee cruda. Let's look at sleep remedy number 2, and let's go to slide number 4. This remedy is called passion flower, Passiflora incarnata. Passiflora incarnata is a climbing vine. It's got white and purple flowers, mashallah. It grows in Europe, and the chemicals found in this plant, in slide number 3. In slide number 3, so this flower, the chemicals found inside this flower are very, very calming. Very, very calming. Look how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made these plants and flowers. It's amazing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's creation. Amazing. Ahsan al-Khaliqeen, the best of all creators. Look how Allah has made this. And if you look at some of the passion flower, passifloras, there's different varieties. They are so amazing. You know, it's like an artist has, you know, stood there and designed it all and colored it all. These are all natural, and Allah Ta'ala is the creator of these things. Subhanallah. So the chemicals in this passion flower have calming effects, and it's been traditionally used for sleeping issues. If you go to some health food stores, you will find, you know, herbal products which contain passiflora and valerian and, you know, calming things. So it's mainly used for nervous symptoms and especially for insomnia, i.e. for lack of sleep. You know, infants can benefit from this remedy in homeopathic form, and so can elderly people, but especially people who've been overworked physically and mentally and very, very worried. So this is you use this in a mother tincture form, so it's in liquid form. What you do with this, you have 20 drops kind of in the evening, 6, 7 o'clock, in half a tumbler of water, and come, you know, maybe 9:30, 10 o'clock after Isha Salah, you have 40 drops in water. So Passiflora incarnata, mother tincture form, 20 drops in the evening and 40 drops at night time before you go to sleep in half a tumbler of water. This will go a long way in alleviating and getting rid of your insomnia symptoms. You know, we see people regularly with insomnia and they can't sleep. This is a stable remedy, a strong remedy for insomnia without making you feel drowsy, and it'll also take away all these anxieties, inshallah ta'ala. So this was remedy number 2. Let's look at remedy number 3 in slide 4. This remedy, the third remedy out of 4 or 5 remedies, this is known as Aquilegia vulgaris, known as common columbine. This is a big remedy for females. Ladies are more prone to insomnia. So hysteria, overreacting to certain things. If you're very irritable, you overthink, you worry, and you have repetitive thoughts, this remedy can be very effective, and it's in the 30C, 1 tablet morning and 1 in the evening. If you go to slide number 5, and this will tell us a bit more about this remedy, Aquilegia vulgaris, and slide number 5. So this is a species of columbine which is native to Europe. This is found in Europe. It grows in Europe, and it can grow to 1.2 meters, and the common name, they call it Granny's nightcap. Granny's nightcap. If Adil puts it on, maybe you can see why they call it Granny's nightcap. Adil bhai, let's go to slide number 5, please, and we can show our viewers why they call this remedy Granny's nightcap, or the jealousy plant. So the tincture is made from the whole wild blooming plant. It's also been used to cure diarrhea and to promote perspiration, to help in childbirth, and also for rheumatic pain. So this is a very good remedy by the grace of Allah for insomnia, especially for ladies who worry and have repetitive thoughts. 1 tablet twice a day, morning and evening. And now let's look at sleep remedy number 4. Sleep remedy number 4 is a very, very big remedy for grief. Out of 4 remedies which are used for grief, you have Natrum muriaticum, you have Ignacia, you have phosphoric acid, okay, and aurum as well. So this is a remedy which in which the person who has insomnia, the reason why they have insomnia is because they've had a loss, someone's passed away, they've had a financial setback, the business isn't going so well, they've had an argument with somebody, whatever it may be, the emotional side is very, very prominent in this remedy. It helps restore your emotional balance. And this person will be sighing a lot in the daytime. They'll be making sighing sounds. They'll be feeling sleepy in the daytime. But come night time, they can't sleep. Ignacia is a big, big remedy for all kinds of emotional upsets, disappointments in relationships, maybe, wherever it may be. If we look at slide number 6, and we'll go through this together. The homeopathic remedy Ignacia amara, and the abbreviation is Ignacia, comes from the Saint Ignatius bean which is the seed of the Ignacia amara. So what you can see in the picture is the small kind of seed, and from there they make this remedy. And it's a climbing shrub, just like the one before this. The passion flower was also a climbing plant. So this is a climbing shrub native to China, Philippines and Indonesia, and it belongs to the family Loganaceae, which also produce remedies like Nux vomica and Gelsemium and Spigelia. All right. Now, a lot of homeopathic kits will have Ignacia because it's such a good remedy for bereavement or for shock and a disappointment remedy. It's commonly used to treat acute emotional problems or grief, and it can help the body process emotions. This is one of the strongest parts of this remedy, is that it helps the body deal with emotions. So if somebody's had a big shock and their reaction is like, hysteric, sometimes they're laughing, sometimes they're crying, sometimes they're volatility. Some of the remedies in this family, we mentioned before, Loganaceae family, like Nux vomica, Spigelia, they've got this volatility inside and this irritability, this anger. They can start crying or they can start, shouting, either way. So this is the remedy number 4 when it comes to issues of sleep. And if you go to slide number 7, it'll tell us a bit more about Ignacia. So this is used in conditions like insomnia and various disturbances of the sleep. If you have superficial sleep, you have light sleep, you have sleeplessness, you have drowsiness in the morning, you're very, very weary during the day, and very, very bright and vivacious in the evening. So when you should be falling asleep, you actually kind of opposite and you're feeling awake. Nervous restlessness and overexcitement of the nervous system, it helps calm that down. So I mentioned things like death, accident, burglary. So if you have issues after someone's bereavement or after an accident that you've had or some of your loved ones have had or some burglary or some setback, and you relate your illness back to that time, then this is a good remedy for you, Ignacia. So if insomnia is caused by emotional upset, grief, loss, disappointment in love, shock or even argument, this remedy may be helpful. Person who needs it is sensitive and nervous and may often sigh and yawn in the daytime and find it hard to relax at night time. And if they do fall asleep, they have a lot of twitching, the legs twitch, and if sleep arrives, it's usually very light with jerking of the arms and legs, and they may have nightmares as well. All right, now let's look at another. Who's heard of the rescue remedy? Rescue remedy is an amazing remedy which has natural flowers contained in it, made from natural kind of flowers and trees. So this is now in the past, this rescue remedy it still is made out of brandy, which is haram. You can't have that. But I'm glad to say you can also get these in vegetable glycerine. So if you ever get rescue remedy, make sure it's vegetable glycerine. If it's like the normal one, then that has brandy inside, al-iyadu billah, al-iyadu billah, al-iyadu billah, which is haram, unless you're dying, So this rescue remedy is very, very good for shock again. It's very good for shock. You should all have this. Everyone should have this. The halal one anyway, in their cars. Heaven forbid you have a puncture or something else. I've used it so many times. It causes you to relax. You have issues, you've had a, God forbid, car crash or a puncture. I remember we had a blowout in the motorway once. And we were going on the motorway, and I think I got stuck in Surat Yasin. Amazing. I've read Surat Yasin for the last, 35 odd years. But suddenly I couldn't think of the next ayat. I read it about 10, 11, 12 times. My wife was next to me. I asked her to read, and she read, and she didn't know the exact next ayat. Then suddenly we had this blowout, Ya Allah, in the 3rd lane. And by the grace of Allah, within seconds and moments, I had gone to the hard shoulder. Allah Ta'ala saved us through the barakat of Yasin Sharif. Yasin Sharif is amazing. SubhanAllah. For so many things, the Hadith Sharif says that read it upon your people who are passing away. It'll help them pass away with afiyat and ease. If you're hungry, read Yasin Sharif. Allah Ta'ala will give you food, provide you with food. And if you're lost, read it and it'll help you find your way. I remember another quick, I was going somewhere. I was actually going to Birmingham to my in-laws' house. And then I thought, what I'll do, I'll turn the tom-tom off and let's see. So I turned the tom-tom off just in the outskirts of Birmingham. And Birmingham is a big city, mashallah. So I began to read Yasin Sharif slowly. And what I did was I said to myself, I'll take every right turn. Or was it every left? I can't remember. So right or left? Just one. Either right or either left. So I continued and I didn't know where I was. But when I read the last part of the surah, إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون فسبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء وإليه ترجعون. By the grace of Allah, I was right outside my relative's street. Amazing. Just on the last ayat, I looked left and there's the street. So Yasin Sharif is amazing. If you haven't learned it off by heart, learn it off by heart. Make your children learn it off by heart. In a few weeks, they'll learn it, inshallah. The heart of the Quran is Yasin Sharif. And Nabi Kareem has mentioned that he would love Yasin Sharif to be memorized by everybody. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So this remedy is very good for mental relaxation. It helps you relax. And if you're relaxed, you can sleep very, very easily. And and if you quickly go to what slide was it? Yeah, let's go to slide 9 again. So this has so if you have insomnia, I suppose what you can take, if you look on the right hand side of the slide, Passiflora incarnata 20 drops afternoon and in the evening, and 40 drops in the night in a half a glass of water. At the same time, Ignacia, amara, a homeopathic remedy, 200 potency, 2 tablets at night time, and coffee cruda 200C, 2 tablets in the morning. So take the Passiflora incarnata in water, order it in from some pharmacy, homeopathic pharmacy, use that for 4-5 weeks. You see the results a lot quicker than that, inshallah. And take Ignacia amara 200 at night time. 1 tablet from you can take 2 tablets, and coffee cruda 200C, 2 tablets in the morning. And rescue remedy in the 30C potency, take it morning, afternoon, and in the evening. Insha'Allah ta'ala, this will help you with your insomnia. It'll keep you safe from these metabolic diseases like high blood pressure, hypertension, high cholesterol, diabetes, and heart disease. It's an amazing thing. May Allah ta'ala keep us safe, and may Allah keep us safe from these illnesses like diabetes, like heart disease, and Allah ta'ala keep us safe from cancer. Because people panic from cancer. Somebody came to consult with us just the other day, and when you have cancer, you panic. I mentioned one of the biggest things for cancer is fasting, Monday, Thursday, and I mentioned the 2016 Nobel Prize in Medicine was won by a Japanese scientist who showed us that when you fast, your body's healthy cells eat the cancerous cells. Fasting is amazing, Monday, Thursday, and 13, 14, 15 every month. We'll go through a whole program with things which can help us stay strong and ward off all these serious illnesses. So I hope this program has been beneficial for you, inshallah. We have to look after our health. The Hadith Sharif says, اغتنم خمسا قبل خمسين, value 5 before 5. شبابك قبل حرمك, your youth before your old age. صحة قبل سقمك, your health before you become ill. فراغ قبل شغلك, your free time before you become busy. وغناك قبل فقرك, and your relative prosperity before you may become less prosperous. And the 5th thing is, حياة قبل موتك, value your life before your death. You can leave the world at any time. As our teacher, Hazrat Bilal was saying, once when you put your clothes on at night time, do you even think that will you take these clothes off, or will somebody else will take them off for you when they're bathing you? May Allah Ta'ala keep us safe. May Allah Ta'ala help us to please Him. May Allah Ta'ala help us to draw close to Him. And above all, or alongside these du'as, may Allah help us to read plenty of durood and salawat upon Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. You've got some time before Maghrib. The intelligent people will then just, sit at home or in the masjid and read Durood Sharif upon Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and just benefit from this ghanimat, this pure, unadulterated blessings that you attain by reading Durood Sharif upon Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Until next week, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.